known that you're on a soul path? And have you wondered how to gain real insight into the steps along your own unique journey? Welcome everyone, I'm Sarah Main, and thank you for joining me on Damayanti, the show for your soul. It's great to have you join me. Damayanti means deep peace and calm. Damayanti sheds a light for your soul through the gift of wisdom that shines in the beautiful and universal language of Sanskrit. Damayanti is the show that speaks to your soul, connects with your soul, and enriches your soul. Welcome everyone. Welcome along to Damayanti, the show for your soul with me, Sarah Main, and it's great to have you along today. Today we're going to be talking about true patience, active acceptance, and achieving your dreams. True patience, active acceptance, and achieving your dreams. Try saying that quickly. Active acceptance and achieving your dreams. So real patience is a true and a beautiful and mighty power, and it's perfectly suited to achieve our best life. It's a form of active acceptance, and we're going to talk about how we nurture the strength, calm, and peace of real patience. So patience, let's change our view of this great and beautiful power. And I love this quote. This is from Ray A. Davis, and he said, "Patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active acceptance of the process required to attain your goals and dreams." Patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active acceptance of the process required to attain your goals and dreams. So what's your experience of patience? What's your experience of patience? How do you experience patience? Let's have some focus questions here. Have you stopped and considered and reflected on patience, this fact of patience, this experience of patience? What is patience? Have you considered that patience is an energy? That patience is a great and beautiful power? Why is patience important? What is the energy of true patience? How do you practice patience? Do you even practice patience? I mean, our experience of patience may be one of gritting our teeth, clenching our teeth, and putting up with things. Okay. I mean, maybe as a child you were told, "Oh, just be patient, just wait." Maybe you haven't stopped and considered true patience, and that's all okay. It's all fine. Now's an opportunity to give yourself the gift to stop and consider it. I mean, patience is experienced at different levels and in all places of our life. So we have ordinary, daily situations of life, for example, driving in slow traffic, waiting in line at the grocery store, for example. We can feel frustrated, but we have to draw on some aspect of patience. Whether we're conscious of it or not, we're actually drawing on that power of patience. And that keeps us sitting in the car waiting. It keeps us standing in our line in the grocery store, even though we're feeling frustrated. We draw on it, whether we're conscious or not. We're drawing on that power of patience. We also have to experience patience in manifesting our goals and dreams. I mean, just because we don't see it immediately, often there's a process. That's why it's an active acceptance of the process. So patience is involved in manifesting our goals and dreams. For example, I'm not seeing, or I don't have what I want, or we need patience, but we don't give up on our goals and dreams. Patience in relation to close relationships. We want someone to do something now and it's not happening. We don't like what they're doing, but they are who they are, and they've got every right to be who they are, just as we want to be who we are. So patience is a power involved around that. Patience involved with community, society, and national issues. Something's not happening that I want to see now. Okay, patience in that sphere. and patience at a personal level, patience with ourselves as we work inwardly on something. And there's probably tons of others, but they're just some examples of where this beautiful, mighty, universal power of patience is brought to bear. So let's explore how changing our view of this great and beautiful power that we call patience can literally transform the view we have of ourselves and our experience and response to the situations that we face. So let's take a look at what Sanskrit says about patience. Sanskrit, yes, Sanskrit, because it contains timeless universal wisdom. And just a tip to remember about why I start with Sanskrit. The word Sanskrita means pure and perfectly formed. So the wisdom in Sanskrit is pure and perfectly formed, and that's got to be the best place to start. Wisdom that's simple, direct, and universal. That's pure and perfectly formed. So the Sanskrit actually has 3 words for patience that are relevant today for us. And the first is kshama, and it means patience and forbearance. And that's derived from a root that means bearing or enduring patiently, remaining composed, to allow and permit, to restrain anger. Okay, so bearing, enduring, remaining composed, allowing, permitting, restraining anger. That's kshama, and it's patience and forbearance. There's a lot in that. Then there's another word, shanti. You may have met that if you did yoga, if you do yoga. Shanti means peace. And peace and patience is in being, peace and patience as in being peaceful and calm. Peaceful and calm. That is different from bearing and enduring patiently. This is being peaceful and calm. 2 different energies. They both mean patience. And then the last one is titiksha, and that has a sharper focus. It's patience, endurance, and forbearance. And it's derived from the root, literally, to be or become sharp. And that is that sort of focus of bearing with strength and courage. So notice the 3 different sort of senses, feeling, energies that you feel. One is bearing and enduring, remaining calm, allowing things to happen, permitting things to happen, restraining our anger and our frustration. Okay, that's one. Then there's shanti, peace and calmness, pacifying, calm, stopping, stillness, different energy, also patience. And then titiksha, patience, endurance, forbearance, and that's becoming sharp. That's the strength and courage and firmness to remain patient and endure, because sometimes we do have to endure. We can't just change everything externally. We have to endure. So all 3 are aspects of true patience, and that's Sanskrit brings it out. We could just spend hours just drilling down into that. So in summary, the 3 qualities or aspects of patience are enduring, allowing, and restraining anger. Let's just think enduring, kshama. Peace and calm, that's stillness, shanti. So enduring, stillness, and then strength and firmness, that's forbearance. So 3 qualities of patience: enduring, stillness, and forbearance. 3 different aspects, 3 different qualities. There's a beautiful little story about a wise man and some unruly men. There was a wise man traveling to another country, and he came to the edge of a river, and there was a ferryman there, and he hired the ferryman to take him across the river. And in the boat were 3 young men, and they were behaving very badly. They were unruly, they were rude, insulting. They were rocking the boat from side to side. They were shouting insults at this wise man, at the other passengers, and at the ferryman himself. It was all very unpleasant. The ferryman was becoming very agitated and upset, naturally, and he asked them to stop. But the wise man remained calm. And when they got to the other side and these young men walked off, the ferryman was still upset, and he apologized to the wise man for these insults that he had to endure. And the ferryman asked the wise man why he didn't use his spiritual powers, his obvious powers, or strength and inner calm, to punish these young men and bring them to some order. And the wise man answered, saying, I was practicing patience. I was practicing kshama, patience, in the face of these insults. And instead of reacting in like manner, I was praying that they be granted some good sense and reason, so that they could see for themselves how they should behave. That's a different way of looking at it, isn't it? So what does this story illustrate? In the face of situations that test our equanimity, our inner calm and balance, our equanimity, we needn't always respond with like for like, with tit for tat. We have a choice. And the second thing that for me stands out in this story is the higher path is to remain calm and strong, and to respond with compassion and resolve, and the wish that everyone involved in the situation comes out better off. So it'd be so easy to just insult back, but that's operating at the same level or a lower level. But the higher one is to wait, have a higher wish that they respond better and come out of this better, and that we don't just come out meeting a situation tit for tat. And one way of looking at it is, and I experience and practice patience as releasing the resistance to the present moment, to what is happening now. I consciously release that resistance. And that doesn't mean there aren't things that need to be responded to. If you're with a child that is behaving badly, you need to actually respond and teach them. They need that civilizing, socializing instruction, and that's what an adult does. A child can't do that, but an adult can, and that's its responsibility to do that, be whether you're a parent or a guardian, caregiver at the time, a teacher, whatever it is. If you've got responsibility in that situation, you need to respond. But you don't do it out of frustration. So you can respond without a forceful desire to see results right now. We respond from peace and calm, from understanding and compassion, not frustration and force. That's one of the reasons I, as a teacher, had to really work on patience and learn more about patience, come to a greater understanding of patience, so that I could care for the children in my care each day from peace and calm and understanding and compassion, rather than frustration and a lack of patience. And I went to the Sanskrit and discovered so much about it, and I started making it a practice. So remember, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So whatever is happening is fine, but how we respond to it is different. And patience is not a passive waiting. Patience is active acceptance of the process required to attain your goals and dreams. So we're going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to be looking at nurturing true patience. What do we do? How do we nurture true patience? How do we develop the power and calm, peace, forbearance, and strength while we're waiting for our dreams to manifest? And having compassion and understanding for ourselves and others as we work through something. So we'll be back after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to this show, Damayanti, the show for your soul. And today we're talking about true patience, nurturing true patience, and that true patience is the active acceptance and achieving your dreams, that we can be actively accepting the process as we achieve our dreams and not giving into frustration. And true patience is this beautiful, mighty power. What do we do? How do we nurture true patience? How do we develop the power of calmness, peace, forbearance, and strength when we're challenged, when we're triggered? Happens, sure does. And when our patience appears to be in short supply, we have apparently access to patience, but patience is a great and mighty universal power. And sometimes it can feel like it's not so great and not so universal. It's in short supply. And sometimes we can experience frustration when we're sort of waiting for our dreams to manifest. How can we have compassion and understanding and love for ourselves as we work through something? So nurturing true patience, what do we do? What can we do? So develop or nurture the power of calmness, peace, and strength, especially when we're challenged. This appears not so easy sometimes. So we do need to practice it. And my suggestion is, my advice is, offering this is to practice when it's easy, when we're not frustrated, when we're not at that point of challenge and trigger. Because if we haven't practiced prior to that, then it's so much harder. It's like expecting to get out there and run a marathon and you've done no training. You do actually need to train. You need to practice. And then that strength is there when you need it, obviously. Okay. So we need to practice this. And this takes a resolve, takes a clear decision. I came to this, as I was saying before the break, when I was teaching. I had a lot to do, and I sometimes felt that I just reacted out of frustration to things I had to meet in dealing with behavior. And I had to find a way of really grounding myself in patience and compassion. So I looked at all sorts of areas, and one of them was to understand how could I practice patience. I realized it was one of my life's lessons, work I had to do. It had nothing to do with the children or the situation. I needed to work on this. And I took sort of steps on all levels. I, really worked on my stress levels physically, mentally, and emotionally, because I did have a lot of responsibility and a lot of work each day. But just the overall wakefulness and mindfulness to stay present and develop and nurture and make friends with patience, that power of patience. And I did all sorts of things, fun things. And the children knew I told them, and I was working on it, and they were fabulous. And I've talked about this in other shows, about my cloak of patience and so on. But one of the things was looking into Sanskrit, and we definitely grow stronger through developing Kshama, which is patience through enduring, Shanti, patience through peace, and Titiksha, patience through forbearing and strength. And this is not a state of passivity and weakness. Patience and calmness, forbearance, peace, and endurance are strong, powerful qualities, forces, and energies. And I felt I was making friends with this. So these three qualities, enduring, allowing, restraining, anger, enduring, is Kshama, peace and stillness. Its stillness is Shanti, and forbearance, Titiksha. So personal practice to develop true patience. We're not doing this on our own. We're connecting with this great and beautiful power, this universal energy. This is what I discovered when I started looking at it. Suddenly I didn't feel like I had to do this on my own, that I didn't have enough patience. I realized there was this great power. It was universal. And we are greater when we realize we can do this. We are limitless, infinite beings. I just had to decide this was important and to put my attention on it and start practicing. So an easy starting point, really easy. And trust me, practice when we're in an ordinary situation, where we're not too challenged, all right? And we may experience some frustration, but it's no biggie, okay? But your patience can certainly be tested. For example, waiting in line somewhere at the grocery store, at the supermarket, maybe in traffic, if you're waiting for a lift, an elevator, and you're feeling, oh, come on. Try and sort of catch yourself at that moment. This is the easy starting point for when you really get challenged. And there are other situations in life, as we all know, that get ramped up. So practice when it's easy. To stop, to pause, and to breathe. Stop, pause, breathe. How hard is that? Only takes a moment. Don't need any special equipment. Don't need to do long courses on this. Just stop immediately. When you catch that frustration, stop. Stop what you're doing for a moment. Pause for a moment. And breathe. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Maybe another breath. Maybe a third breath. Stop, pause, breathe. And if you can stop and then just pause for a moment. It's a second. It sometimes feels like it's ages, but it actually isn't. Pause for a moment. And you're in the present moment now. You're observing. You may still be feeling this frustration in your body. That's okay. That's fine. That's what we're addressing. We're not blaming ourselves. We're not judging it. But we're now beginning to put some observational attention, some awareness around this frustration. So stop, pause, breathe, and then allow calm and peaceful energy. Just allow that calm and peaceful energy, which is there, to enter your mind, your heart, and your body. Let it flow through. All of this only need take a moment. You get better at it. Try it now. Stop, pause, breathe, and now let that calm energy come in. Okay? And decide that you are now choosing patience rather than being reactive and defaulting to impatience and frustration. So really hear that. You're actively choosing patience. But you need that calm energy there behind you when you're choosing patience. Otherwise, you can choose patience, but your teeth are tightly clenched. Trust me, I've tried everything. Okay, so just choose patience. Just relax, okay? And you do this in simple situations. It may seem a little bit unnecessary when you're just feeling a bit frustrated standing in a grocery line, but think of it like running a marathon or in the gym lifting weights. You go to the gym, you lift weights that are basically completely unnecessary for the most part, but you do it to get stronger. So in this situation, this is like being in the gym lifting weights. You're standing in the grocery line, building up your inner strength and your connection to patience. All right? And allow that power of peace and calm to go out to the situation you're in. So don't just hold it within yourself, then allow it to flow out to the situation you're in. And feel a sense of expansion. So you go beyond those limits that frustration can hold you in like a tight rubber band, squeezing you even tighter. So let that expansion and the softening and relaxing. And try this at least once a week. At least once a week, every day for a week, sorry. Try it at least once a day for a week. Once a week, fine. But easier if you do it every day for a week. Every day for a week. And observe after a while that you have just this quiet, greater, growing sense of calmness and steadiness, some access to some power that's greater beyond the frustration when you meet the usual trigger moments. You'll be amazed. It's like lifting weights in the gym. You don't see any difference, and then you go to pick something up and suddenly, oh yeah, I can pick that up. It's no biggie. Okay, well, this is the same. So this exercise is such valuable training, trust me. It's strengthening, and you do it in an easy situation. And it's preparation for the really habitual moments when we typically lose it, okay? You'll suddenly find there's something goes, oh, and you can stop, pause, breathe, and bring in a whole new energy that will transform habitual situations where we just react and we go to sleep and we're unconscious. We don't want to do that anymore. That's how we transform. So it's like strengthening muscles, and the strength and memory will be there as a result when we need it most. So patience is a great and mighty power. It's worth nurturing so you can stand in your own power and not be triggered and weakened by challenges. And I always feel it like it's releasing the resistance to the present moment and to what's happening now. And that doesn't mean we don't respond if something needs fixing or attending to or correcting, but we can respond without a forceful desire to see results right now. We can respond from peace and calm, from understanding and compassion, and not from frustration and force. So to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. And patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active acceptance of the process to attain your goals and dreams. So if you'd like to find out more about Damayanti, go to my website, damayanti.store. And I've got a beautiful collection of spiritual jewelry there. There's 8 collections, and one of them is patience. That's right, Kshama. There's actually patience jewelry, and I'm wearing one of the necklaces today. It's a beautiful circle pendant necklace, and it's got Kshama written in beautiful Sanskrit lettering. And it's a wearable mantra in sacred Sanskrit, and it's an energetic reminder that I can keep with me. And there are 8 collections. So go to my website and check them out, and you'll find something that you love. It's an uplifting memory and connection. And it's a beautiful gift for yourself or for someone special. So my website, damayanti.store. And I'm also on social media, and I've got a new Facebook group, Find Your Purpose, Connection and Vision. So go to my website and go to the new Facebook group and join up. I'd love to have you there. So let's finish with some beautiful Sanskrit, some uplifting, fine sounds. And this is the peace prayer from the Yajurveda. In heaven, peace, peace in the space between, on earth, peace, on the waters, peace, in plants, peace, in trees, peace, peace in all powers, in spirit, peace, peace in everything, peace alone, peace, 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 peace. Om Dhyau Shanti, Antarikshan Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Apa Shanti, Oshadhaya Shanti, Vanaspataya Shanti, Vishwe Deva Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Sarvang Shanti, Shanti Reva Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for spending time with me on Damayanti, the show for your soul. To find out more about Damayanti, or to get my book, Conscious Confidence, Use the Wisdom of Sanskrit to Find Clarity and Success, or to purchase my range of beautiful spiritual jewelry, go to my website, damayanti.store. That's damayanti.store. See you next time.